Do you get a feeling when you're making something that something's going to be really popular, or is your guess as good as anyone's?
Yeah, my guess is always as good as anyone's. However, like reading the scripts, I thought it was something special. Obviously, having Patrick Harbinson as the sort of the screenwriting adaptation, obviously they're based on Kate London's brilliant books. But I think the source material of Kate's was so good because she was an ex-Met homicide detective. So everything that she's written, has happened in some capacity. Obviously names and dates and everything changed. First-hand accounts really through fiction from her, and then Patrick's excellent, as I say, excellent adaptive hand to the script. And so it was a really dense, exciting, character-driven script that also really addressed a zeitgeist, I suppose, is sort of a current issue, which was not so much as the Line of Duty is, but sort of a real sort of gritty, down-to-earth corruption in the police force of obviously, unfortunately, it aired at the same time as Sarah Everard was going on, and certain other police officers were being called into question over their integrity. And the Tower One really sort of focused on integrity and protocol and the sort of racism and misogyny and sexism within the police force. So it really sort of addressed some large issues with finesse, I'd say. And now with Tower 2, it focuses a lot on women's stories, women being seen, women being listened to, domestic abuse, which, again, has always been current. But post-pandemic, I was certainly alarmed when all that stuff came out about if you can't leave the house or if you need help or if someone is abusing you and you're trapped. I hadn't even thought about that area of life. There must be so many people trapped. So I think it's really current and it's just really clever. I really love the script and with the way Patrick weaves all of the storylines together and individuates the characters. I think I did think it was probably going to be pretty well received. We are currently filming series 3, and typically with ITV anyway, you have to sort of wait until the series airs before you get recommissioned. Whereas we were recommissioned months ago off the strength of them loving series 2, even though it hadn't aired. So yeah, it feels like it's sort of gaining strength and interest, and it's really exciting to be part of it.
My next question was going to be, we have sort of peaks and troughs of public opinion of the police in this country. And obviously, not all drama shows police to be heroes. Quite often it shows the opposite, but it shows them as these huge villains. Whereas I suppose what the Tower is doing is showing it as the sort of stuff, I mean, racism is racism, but the sort of stuff that people might write off and go, oh, that's just Bob. That's just how he is.
Yeah.
Or the sort of sexism that people excuse on a small scale, which can have a huge difference. Yeah. Because I have been wondering, when is the public feeling, when is television writing going to start catching up with the fact that we don't feel the same about the police for a number of reasons today as we did, say, for example, 5 years ago?
No, exactly. However, I do still, just through my children, I suppose, my son is obsessed with Nino cars, he calls them, police cars, and he says he's one and a half, he wants to be a policeman, as is typical. But also I do try and teach my daughter, when we see policemen and women out on the streets, that I say, if you're ever in trouble, that's the kind of person that you need to go to for help. So I do believe in them. I do have a belief, because the ones we've always met have always been very nice. And I do believe in the police force, and I think we're very lucky in this country to have one that is not as corrupt as many other countries, should we say. And there are a lot of people, such as Kate London, and many of the supporting artists on the Tower are ex-coppers and detectives, and they're just good people. And I think there is space to acknowledge that there are a lot of cops trying to do their best. It's tricky, isn't it? Because then you come across certain things you hear that are highly unsavoury, and it's tricky.